Welcome back to the Banganator podcast, episode 8, week 7. And how about them Cowboys? Dak Prescott is back. We got the dub. We back on track after that loss against the Eagles. Let's freaking go. Like my friend Andrew said last week, the Lions ain't the king of the jungle. We are. Us Cowboys are. And we wrecked the Detroit Lions. Pun intended. Because, they from Motor City. But before I continue, please like and subscribe. Keep pressing that like button. Keep subscribing so I can bring y'all content every week. Let's get to it. The Dak attack is officially back, y'all. Dak Prescott with 19 out of 25. So 19 completions out of 25 attempts. 1 passing touchdown. 0 interceptions. 55 passer rating. I'd say that's pretty good. Stats tell you that's pretty good. I would have liked to see more from him in the first half because the first half we couldn't score at all. We could only kick field goals. So I was kind of disappointed in the first half, and I was actually kind of nervous going in at halftime. But, we in the second half, I don't know what Coach McCarthy told them at halftime in the locker room, but whatever he did worked. We took off in the second half. Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard, they were doing good. They were doing what they were supposed to do. Tony Pollard with 83 yards. Ezekiel Elliott looking like feed Zeke, looking like the good old days. He got 53 yards and 2 touchdowns down in a goal line situation. So, hey, if you're in goal line and it's at the ball is at the 1 or 2 yard line, you got to give it to Zeke. You got to give it to Zeke. Just let him run up the middle. You got it. Don't be like no Pete Carroll and choose to pass the ball on first or second down when you got Zeke right there. He's proven that, yes, he can get the ball in the end zone that close. Our receivers, I would have liked to see more from our receivers. The only person that caught a touchdown was Peyton Hendershot, backup tight end on National Tight End Day, by the way. And I would have liked to see more from our other receivers. CeeDee Lamb, Noah Brown, Michael Gallup, Dalton Schultz. I'll give him a pass because he just came off an injury. But I would have liked to see more from him. But they did get a lot of yards, though. CeeDee Lamb with 70 yards. Noah Brown with 50 yards. Dalton Schultz with 49 yards. And Tony Pollard doing his thing in the passing game or the receiving game, 26 yards. So it looks like Michael Gallup, he didn't get any targets, any yards, so not really his fault. He didn't get any targets. But our offense was looking pretty solid. So I'm excited whenever we go up against the Bears next week. Once again, our defense stepped up. It wasn't like last week against the Eagles. It was like every other game besides the Eagles game. We held them to less than 1 touchdown because every other game besides the Eagles game, we've held the offense to 1 touchdown, like no more than a touchdown. In this game against the Lions, we didn't even let them score a touchdown. They only scored 2 field goals. It was 24-6. So the defense did its job. We got 5 total sacks. Everybody putting in work. Dorrance Armstrong, Micah Parsons, rookie linebacker Sam Williams with 2 sacks. So that surprised me. He came out on Sunday. Last week's guest Andrew Good was right. Trayvon Diggs got an interception off of Jared Goff. Apparently Jared Goff been throwing interceptions every game. The trend continued. So thank you, Andrew, for that insight. Because your prediction was right. Even though you looked at the replay and it wasn't really an interception, but the refs didn't replay it and it counted as an interception. So officially in the books, it's an interception. So Trayvon Diggs with the interception. Who else got an interception? Jordan Lewis, even though he did get injured on that play, and it's going to be a season-ending injury. So that sucks. Prayers up to him. But Jordan Lewis sacrificing himself and, getting that interception. So we got 2 interceptions on the day. Good job, Cowboys defense. So I'm going to give you all my prediction for the Cowboys next game. We play the Chicago Bears on Sunday at 12 noon Central Time on Fox. I think we're going to win that game. Don't get me wrong. The Chicago Bears, they got a lot of talent. And I love Justin Fields. I've been following his journey to the NFL since high school. I got to see his journey throughout his senior season. And it's pretty cool how ever since then I've been rooting for him. So from high school to college, he went to Georgia. Didn't get the starting job in Georgia. Transferred to Ohio State. Did really good there. And, I've been liking him ever since then. So I'm glad that I got to see him grow and mature as a quarterback. And now he's in the NFL. And I love to root for him. I love to root for his success. I wish that he had more success in the NFL, but sometimes that's just not how it is. But I'm rooting for you, but not against the Cowboys. Cowboys first. Y'all not winning against the Cowboys. Our defense is just too good. Our defense is gonna bring out the flaws out of Justin Fields. Our defense is just too good. So we're gonna get turnovers. I already know that. Justin Fields can be slippery. He can run. He can get out the pocket. He has the ability to make throws and score touchdowns, whether it's on his feet or through the air. But it's not gonna amass to enough to beat the Cowboys. So I think the Cowboys defense is going to put a cap on what Justin Fields and the Chicago Bears offense can do. And I do think our offense is going to thrive against the Chicago Bears defense. Now, for my top 4 favorite things from Week 7 in the NFL in terms of football, in football terms. On first down, my first favorite thing about Week 7 was Josh Jacobs. Another amazing performance. I'm so freaking glad that I got Josh Jacobs on my fantasy football team. I thought that the first 2 weeks when he wasn't producing as well, I thought that I would regret it. But I don't. He's arguably top 2 best running backs this year in the NFL. On Sunday, he had 143 yards, 3 touchdowns, hat trick. What more do I say? What more can I say? He got 36 points for me in fantasy football. So Josh Jacobs, man, keep doing your thing. It's amazing what you're doing. Barring injury, I think he's going to be able to keep this up for the remainder of the season, and he might win Offensive Player of the Year. Who knows? On second down, my second favorite thing about Week 7 in the NFL was Joe freaking Burrow. I'm speechless, man. I don't know what to say. Again, first 2 weeks of the season, I thought that he was going to be a bum again, or he wasn't going to be as good coming off of a Super Bowl hangover. But he had 481 yards and 4 touchdowns on Sunday. One of them rushing. 3 passing, 1 rushing. Like, man, I'm speechless. Joe Burrow is amazing. Oh, my gosh. He continues to amaze me. He has 39. He got me 39 points on fantasy football. So him and Josh Jacobs were the biggest reasons why I won in fantasy football again this week. But just look at these highlights and oh my goodness, it's speechless. He keeps this up. He might be in contention for Offensive Player of the Year this year. On third down, my third favorite thing about Week 7 in the NFL was Tua Tagovailoa and the Miami Dolphins going up against the Pittsburgh Steelers. It was a great game. I had rooting interest in the Miami Dolphins because I got both Jalen Waddle and Mike Gesicki on my fantasy football team. They came up big, or they didn't do anything spectacular, but they got me points, which helped me beat my opponent. And I needed every single one of their points because even though I won by 20 points, my opponent had Tyreek Hill, who's also on the Miami Dolphins. They had Tyreek Hill on their fantasy football team, and Tyreek Hill got quite a few points. So I needed Jalen Waddle and Mike Gesicki to play big, and they did. And they couldn't have done it without Tua Tagovailoa. And my fourth favorite thing about Week 7 in the NFL is Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady both losing to sorry teams. Aaron Rodgers losing 23-21 against the garbage Commanders, and Tom Brady not even scoring a touchdown, falling 21-3 against the Carolina Panthers. So sadly, my University of Texas, they lost against Oklahoma State 2 years in a row. I went to the OSU Texas game last year down in Austin because, I'm a diehard Longhorns fan, and they lost. I was wondering what they was doing in the second half. The first half, they built a 17-point lead, and then that dissipated. OSU came back, tied it up, and then pulled ahead by a touchdown. And then we had to play desperate in the last 2 minutes of the game. But Quinn Ewers threw an interception, and we couldn't come back. So I was really disappointed that we couldn't score. We couldn't do anything offensively. We play Kansas State next. I do think that we most likely gonna lose against that game. Adrian Martinez, their quarterback, is good, and Deuce Vaughn, their running back, he's amazing. So I think that's gonna be a loss. So I got another win in fantasy football this week. I'm 3-4 on the season. Never give up. I was down 0-3 to start off the first 3 weeks. I'm 3-4. So never give up. I believe I'm in 6th or 7th place in our league, in our 12-man league, and only the top 4 teams go to the playoffs. But I'm not gonna give up. I'm gonna keep trying. Anything can happen. If I keep stacking up wins. So like I had mentioned earlier, Joe Burrow, he got me 39 points. The biggest reason why I won. Josh Jacobs got me 36 points. Second biggest reason why I won. And Joe Mixon, he got me 18 points. So those are the top 3 players that did their job and helped me get a win. I'm hoping to get back to 500 and get to 4-4 next week. If that happens, hopefully I can get to 5-4 and be positive in my record for the first time. So let's see what happens. Thank y'all for watching this episode of the Banganator podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's get this dub against the Bears. Go Cowboys.
The Banganator podcast is brought to you by Esley Banga, diehard fan of the Dallas Cowboys since 1997. How about them Cowboys?